Here's a list of really exciting upcoming games that totally came out of nowhere and that no one expected. Some were revived out of the blue and some are just very surprising reveals. Like the video to beat the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into it right away because we're in for a treat. First of all, we have the Forever Winter. This game literally came out of nowhere and promises an ambitious Elysium and District 9 inspired experience as a tactical survival horror shooter where squads must fight to survive under the shadow of terrifying and gargantuan war machine in a dying world filled with absolute danger. You'll scavenge and fight for your next day alive under the shadow of gargantuan war machines. Enemies in this game can literally tower over the battlefield. They can be absolute giants. The battlefield is unpredictable thanks to the Forever Winter's dynamic encounter system. Enemies have their own goals and agendas, operating in coordinated groups, undertaking full-scale battles, and they'll also always intelligently react to your actions. The battlefield you leave won't be the same one you return to. You'll use your wits, stealth, and skilled gunplay to make it out alive. You'll choose your path in the shadow of the two great superpowers, loot the dead and make it out alive. Next up, we have the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Oh my god, never in my life did I expect this classic series to come back to life for new consoles and PC as well. If you've been following my channel closely for the past 10 years or so, which I doubt you have, you'll know the classic Star Wars Battlefront games are in my top 5, maybe even my top 3 of my favorite games of all time, and I'm not the only one on this. These games are actual masterpieces that brought Star Wars games to a whole new level and showed that this universe isn't just for movies. These two games are an all-out war battlefield-like experiences with an absolute ton of vehicles, maps, missions, characters, and armies of online players that actually everyone should play. Even if you're not a fan, it is that special and it brings all-out war in single player and multiplayer, as well as new maps and modes that were cut out of the games. Next up, we have Little Devil Inside. Yes, this game is finally back from the dead. I've been covering this game for so long now. Believe it or not, the very first reveal of this game is almost 10 years old. 10 years old and it still hasn't released, but things are about to change. It's supposed to be. For this ambitious open world action adventure, as the team is looking for a special publisher to help fund the last parts of development, and after that all eyes will be on the big release. It's now a smaller team working on the final parts of this game, but it is just friends that want to make something special. They all have a bond together and are the same people they started with so many years ago. Now please enjoy a new look at this game, which as you fight monsters in different environments, survive in a harsh world, and bring back your kills for scientific experiments.
all started with a scientific expedition to the planet Turion, where the New Horizons Corporation was hoping to find new life forms. If only they knew back then what evil they would bring to Earth. A data leak started to spread, revealing that New Horizons was conducting military experiments, crossbreeding the human genome with alien DNA. And so, the nightmare began. Now, competing megacorps all over the world are sending mercenaries to retrieve this research data by all means necessary. That's where we come in.
Emergency power supply cut off.
because there is some big rumors that a sequel for it is actually happening and is in heavy development as we speak by Crytek. This is RYSE Son of Rome, and a sequel called RYSE 2 is actually heavily rumored and heavily teased right now, and we've got details on it. Now, before we get into it, you have to keep in mind that for many years now, people have been rediscovering this RYSE game and loving every second of it, not because it was a bad game at the time of its release in 2013, but because it released at the worst time that any studio could have ever imagined. RYSE first released when the Xbox One launched in 2013 and was the game to showcase the power of the console. What a beautiful game this is, and what a big step this was for games in general. Unfortunately, at the time, Xbox decided that it wanted to become some kind of social media / cinema console, straying away from what made it great in the first place, the games. This decision was met with massive backlash, and of course they reversed their decision, but RYSE was already released, and so it failed to receive any kind of support. Today, with very positive reviews all around the board on PC and Xbox, people are begging for a sequel, and so comes the rumors and teasers from Crytek with RYSE 2. The latest rumor is actually pretty recent and is coming from Crytek themselves. In their brand new hiring advertisement, which you can see here, Crytek included an actual image from RYSE, which started speculation among every single person who saw the tweet, who seemed to think that Crytek might be working on a sequel to the RYSE series. They could have put Crysis, On Showdown, or any other games from their catalog, but they decided to put RYSE in a recent tweet. This is something to think about, and I would absolutely love for them to be teasing a sequel because they have been rumored to for a long time now. Next up, we have the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Last year, InsiderGaming.com reported exclusively on the list of Assassin's Creed titles in development or planned at Ubisoft. At the time, they had mentioned that the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake had recently been greenlit. Now, thanks to a reference that has surfaced on a LinkedIn profile, it seems that the development of the Black Flag remake kicked off just 2 months later, in September 2023, says Insider Gaming. In a report published a month before the list was written up, news surfaced that Ubisoft Singapore will be working on this recreation of one of the most popular Assassin's Creed games ever, Black Flag. Now, details have been discovered on this LinkedIn profile of a lead artist at that very same studio, with claims that they have been working on an unannounced project since September 2023 alongside the likes of Mirage and Valhalla Siege of Paris DLC. Thanks to the YouTuber Ragdoll, it was said the developers from the Skull and Bones and Assassin's Creed team inside Ubisoft Singapore have moved to an unannounced Assassin's Creed project in September 2023, and it's said to be the Black Flag remake.
Attention, evacuate the force before sunrise.
We don't know where he came from. But I'll tell you, he built our village into a city. He's the one who trained our army, who grew us into an empire. I don't know where he's from, but if you think you can stop him, you're already dead. Our people a future. I hope he can save his own.
govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banditry, but there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own. Will you prove yourself worthy of this honor, or will you perish by the traitor's steel?
Unending conflict and suffering. I found a way to make it better. Progress, though, it comes with a cost. They weren't ready for me, for my plan and its ways. Fear drove them to rise against me. First with stones and pitchforks, now with more. They stole my blueprints, broke my lines of production, and cracked my foundation. Fear. Primal fear clouded their minds. They did not see that this risk, these changes, were a path to prosperity. Balance must be pursued at all costs. And the balance will be due, whether with them or even myself. We are armed and ready. This is the moment. RYSE.
Going to cover pack. Roger that. Max, we need to head back.
Hold on, I'm getting a reading.
Max!
Wait!
Max!
What she found that day was a miracle.
It would be our salvation to fight against the Celestials, humanity's greatest enemy.
This is it.
They found us.
Tom! Stay down!
The Celestials hunted us down. I knew they'd keep chasing us until they ripped our ship apart, and I had to save her. I led them away from this world, away from her. We both knew the cost of using the gates. When you travel at light speed, time slows to a crawl. It was only days for me, but an entire lifetime passed for her. And in the chaos of those final moments, we never said goodbye.
No, come with me! Wait! Please! Tom! I love you.
Our service, our sacrifice, discovers worlds, seeds hope, breaks empires. We are the travelers.
Lots of people lost things in the blackout. I was lucky. I just lost the job. But now, they want me back. Picking through the pieces. Being someone else. In places that no longer exist. That's where you'll find me. Searching. In the land of the dead.